like to start this off, but just say that I don't know if Shaq is said he's still going to Shaq in a Fool, but I probably deserve to be on his Shaq in a Fool list. After tonight's game is the worst freaking challenge I think anybody could have ever done in their career. I let my emotions get the best of me, and I glanced at the bench, and I don't even know what the bench said, and usually I at least look at them to see if they say yes or no before I override them at times, which I have done. I didn't even get to that. I glanced at the bench and I said, screw it, I'm gonna do it, you know, because I was emotional. So I wanna get that out. I wanna acknowledge that from the jump street. You know, great win. SGA is just a tough cover. I don't, it'd be interesting to go back and watch the game, but you know, 18 free throw attempts, that's hard to overcome. It is hard, it's hard to overcome. And maybe the officials are right, I don't know, but you know, and obviously they had to foul down the stretch. If they didn't have to foul down the stretch, they would have had double-digit free throws against us, and that's, you know, it was third place, fourth place, I don't know what place team they are, but I give my guys a lot of credit because that is hard to overcome when you have a great player like that. And you know, he gets to the free throw line 18 times. Our guys kept fighting, they stayed with it, and they found a way. Obviously, Fox's 41 was huge for us. Domas with another double-double again. That's basically the standard for him with his double-doubles. But I thought our bench was really key tonight. You know, I thought Malik coming off the bench was huge. He was our defensive player of the game. In the last game against the Clippers, he tried to take 2 charges. Tonight, he had 2 verticalities and he took a charge. You know, and this is something that I've been trying to work with him since last season. And you know, to see him trying to step up and put his body on the line for the team, it just, man, it warms my heart. It really does. I mean, I'm tickled to death. I'm inside to see him trying to make a huge change, especially in something that he's not comfortable doing. And I applaud him for trying to do it. Having said that, you know, Trey took a charge too, which was huge for us. And then, you know, Keon was big. He's been big ever since we gave him minutes. He just doesn't seem to get rattled out there. And, you know, teams continue to leave him open. He shot 40%, I think, or from the 3 in the G League last year. We're close to it, if not around that number. And, you know, he had a lot of open looks tonight. And he knocked him down. We have faith or confidence, however you want to call it, in him, especially when his feet are set and he's shooting wide open, catch and shoot threes. But heck of a game from him on both ends of the floor, and he could have easily gotten the defensive player of the game, but Malik with the 2 verticalities and taking that charge is big. What a block by Keon, man. Oh, wow. Anyway. The last thing I would say too, you know, we talk about, although we defended in stretches, you know, we needed every one of the 22 second chance points that we got, and you know, keep looking at Malik. He now leads the all reserves in assists. So I keep saying 6th man of the year. I think he's 5th in overall points. You know, so these are special numbers from a guy that's helping us win games.
Mike, you brought up Keon there. When you were going through training camp and getting ready for this season, did you have any idea that he was going to have this type of impact for you guys, the energy that he brings to defensive presence?
The defensive presence, yeah, I felt he's just, in practice you could see it. He's long, he's active, he's in the right spot. He does a great job navigating pick and rolls and even pin downs. You know, there's some guys, there are guys out there that are great shooters that, you know, you say, hey, you gotta lock and go versus those guys. You know, whenever a pin down comes, you gotta chase them over, you know, get in their body and try to go over the top with them, or chase them over the top to run them off the 3-point line. Just like in the pick and roll, there's some guys that you gotta go over the top just because they shoot it really well. But there are also some defenders, and again, I am not saying Keon is Bruce Bowen. I am not saying Keon is Bruce Bowen, okay? But I am not saying Keon is Bruce Bowen. But there are some defenders like Bruce, a guy like Bruce Bowen, who you give him the choice. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like if a pin down comes and hypothetically that's Reggie Miller, well, he's good enough to where sometimes he can shoot the gap and still get back to him. Or in a pick and roll situation, you know, that's the, you know, a guy like Dame Lillard type player that can shoot the three. You know, sometimes a guy like Bruce can go under and still get back to him. You know, Keon has those types of instincts, and then his length and his quickness allow him to sometimes recover when he doesn't make the right basketball read defensively. You know, and so you know you can see some of that in training camp. Obviously, like I said, he shot 40% or whatever it was from the three in the G League, so you knew he had a decent stroke when it came to that. But him getting the opportunity at the point guard spot, I even said this in training camp, you know, I was going to give, obviously, Davion an opportunity, but I was going to look at Kobe. I was going to look at Keon, and then we also had Jordan Ford there, so he was going to get a shot. He just got his shot. I think Kobe was the first one to get it, and then he got it after him. And with his demeanor, it doesn't necessarily surprise me.
Along those lines, Mike, seeing Keon in the rotation is one thing, but seeing him closing out games too and having that trust to see him do that, and especially tonight, what does that say about what he's been able to accomplish?
It says a lot in the short amount of time that he's been here. I think his time in the G League last year helped him for moments like this. And I say that, you know, I've been around other players that have spent time in the G League. Even a guy like Jordan Poole, he went to the G League bubble, and you felt and saw his confidence when he was back, you know, and so spending time down there, having a chance to make mistakes, play freely, knowing you're still going to be on the floor, even if you make mistakes, is a huge advantage to these young guys. And I thought he did a great job taking full advantage of his time down there. And now he's getting an opportunity, and he's been in situations like this on a professional level, and he's shown the maturity to make the adjustment without the moment looking too big for him, which is huge for us because he's been really good for us on both ends of the floor.
Coach De'Aaron has been knocking down a high percentage of threes on a good amount of volume. Like, what have you seen from him when it comes to his confidence there? Do you feel like it was always there, or have you seen it grow over time? And how good do you think he could be from there?
I think he can be really good, but the thing that I like more than anything else is his, you know, I didn't look for the stat, but some of our stats people told me that he's still attacking the paint, or he still roughly has the same rim attempts. So if he's still attacking the rim like he did last year, while shooting 39% from the three, it's great because he's taking the right shots. What that means is he's probably taking more threes than middies this year, but he's still getting to the rim too, and that's a pretty good combination coming from a guy like Foxy.
Like, it seems like Domantas Sabonis has these monster stat lines and monster games on nights where his teammates are shining, and I'm just curious I guess the benefit that a player like that has, where he almost can sacrifice his shine and his attention and do the little things so guys like De'Aaron or Keon or Malik can do what they do.
Well, it's when guys step up and have the types of games that they have, you talk about them, but we don't take Domas's ability to get a double-double for granted. I mean, he's works his behind off. I mean, he plays extremely hard every possession. He makes it hard on the other team with their inability to switch and stuff like that, because he'll take advantage of them on the post, or he'll take advantage of them on the glass. And he obviously helps get some of these guys easy looks. So it doesn't go unnoticed, and you know, you expect that from those guys, just like, you know, you expect Fox to have a big game, because there were times where Fox has had what some people might consider a big game, but hey, that's what you're supposed to do for us in that spot, you know. And so I look at it as, you know, hey, he had a double-double, that's what he does. And almost a triple-double, because he, you know, we run a lot of stuff through him, and he can pass, and he's smart and all that other stuff. Foxy had 41, we needed you to have 41, this is a big game. And so that's why I just mentioned both those guys. But I talked about Malik and Keon and even Trey to a certain degree, you know.
Mike, you mentioned before the game kind of the entertainment value and you know, seeing Fox and Shea out there together, but I imagine you weren't disappointed in what you saw from either of those guys?
No, but I wish you know, it'd been nice if I had some popcorn and I was sitting in y'all's seat or something like that. Because you don't really get a chance, you get a chance to watch it, but you don't get a chance to appreciate it probably like you guys do and the fans do all the time.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.